In this video we're going to take a closer look at every Black Series helmet and rate them from the best to the worst, and everything in between. Videos on the Scruffy-Looking Nerf Hoarder channel are intended for audiences of 13 and above. Hey Star Wars fans, it's the Scruffy-Looking Nerf Hoarder. Now a year ago I made a video of my top 16 Black Series helmets. Well, since that video we've had so many great helmets released. We've had the Clone Trooper Phase 2 helmet, and more recently the Scout Trooper helmet. So I thought it'd be a great idea to update the list with the top 22 Black Series helmets made by Hasbro. And this list is going to be based on my own personal preference. I own all the helmets, and this is just my own personal opinion on which ones I believe are the best. You may well have different opinions, and that's completely cool. And one more thing to know, in this video I'm not going to cover how comfortable the helmets are or any of the electronics, the lights and the voice changers and things like that. If you are interested in that sort of thing, I've made a separate video, so check out the link here. Otherwise, let's get on with the list. Number 22 on my list is the Darth Vader helmet from 2018. Now this is a great helmet, and you may wonder why it's so low on the list, and there's a real simple reason for that. The Black Series Darth Vader helmet that came out for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is basically just this helmet, but an upgraded version. Now this helmet does have some great features. The top is removable, it's held on by magnets, and there's some great detailing under the helmet. The bottom piece is removable, and again it's held on by magnets, and again there's some great details. And here it is next to the Obi-Wan Kenobi version, and you can just see that there's so much more detail in this one, some really nice colours. The neck looks a lot better, it's a bit more expanded. And this one just doesn't really get into my display anymore, which is a bit of a shame. It's up in the loft, and this one is now the Darth Vader helmet in my collection. This is a bit of an odd helmet to put on. You do have to undo the two clips here, and it does have a strap as well, so you put it on. It is quite claustrophobic to get it on. Next on my list is number 21, the Poe Dameron helmet. Now this is a really nice looking helmet. It has some great wear and tear on there, and the visor is able to be moved up and down. That's a really nice feature. Also the microphone is movable. You can also spin that one round, which is really nice. Now this one does have some electronics built into it. The button to turn on the electronics is really nicely built into the sculpt. It is this bit here, and that is one big button. And when you push that, it does play some X-Wing sounds in the helmet. There's 3 speakers, and it sort of surrounds your head with noises. You hear BB-8 beeping, X-Wing sounds. Now you're able to remove all the padding, so if you have got a bigger head you can take that stuff off. And yeah, overall nice looking helmet. This is one of the smaller helmets, so you may find it's a bit tight on your head, and I do struggle to put this one on and off with the pads in. Let's try it out. Oh. Oh. There we go. At number 20 we have the Captain Cardinal helmet. Now this is basically a First Order Stormtrooper helmet, but in red, and this is the Last Jedi version. So if you can see, when we look at the side, it's got less of a sort of Donald Duck look to it. The build quality on this helmet is excellent. It feels really solid, really happy with that, and it looks really, really nice. The actual inside as well has got some nice detailing, and there is a strap in there, a cloth strap. So that does hold it on your head quite nicely. It does have a voice distorter, and I'm going to call it a distorter. I'm not going to play it for you now because it is terrible, but the actual button itself is built into the mould really, really nicely. There's the button for it, and the batteries are underneath this part of the helmet. So that's nicely done that they've built it in and you can't see it. Now the reason this is so low on my list is because I have no connection to Captain Cardinal whatsoever, so I just don't love the helmet that much. I do consider this to be more of a holiday trooper helmet than a Captain Cardinal helmet, so I do wear this around the holidays. So if you want to pick one up just for the holidays, then I definitely recommend this. And Hasbro, if you're watching, you heard it here first, the Holiday Trooper helmet. Let's get it done. The next helmet we're going to look at on the list is the very first Black Series helmet that was released all the way back in 2015. It's the Kylo Ren helmet. Now this helmet has got some great features and some absolutely terrible features. So first of all, let's take a look at the front, because this is where this helmet excels. It looks really nice from the front. The chrome effect is wonderful. You can see how shiny that is. It looks great, even after all these years. This front piece looks really nice as well. Now where this helmet does fall down is the side view. You can see this helmet came in 2 pieces, and there's a big seam line right down the centre of it, which is a real shame. And then the bits to connect it as well, you can see these little blocks. It just doesn't look that nice. The other issue with this helmet is to change batteries, you do have to take the actual helmet completely apart, because the battery compartment is under this piece here, and you can see shape wise it's got a little square where it was. And I remember at the time a lot of people bought this helmet, put a little filler in there just to cover up these lines. But I think it's still a nice looking helmet, still really difficult to pick up, so if you are interested, it's still a nice looking helmet from the front. And let's try it on just so we can see what it looks like. This one's quite easy to put on, and it sits on my head like this. Next on the list is the Artillery Stormtrooper helmet from 2023. Now this is the first of 5 Stormtrooper helmets that share the same mold on this list. All the helmets share the same features, so I'll go over them a bit more in detail on this one, and then when we see the future helmets I'll probably brush over them a bit more, because it's exactly the same helmet. There's only differences is the paint job. So on this one we've got this nice yellow paint job at the front to match what we saw in the Mandalorian. And the helmet is really nice. It did come in 3 pieces, and you can kind of see the joints, but they've hidden it quite nicely into the actual design of the helmet. So the top piece is one piece, this is the second piece, and this is the third piece. So you can kind of see this is the join line here, and this bit here is the other join line. But it's nicely done. You would never notice it unless you knew about it. So I'm quite happy with that. The one thing about these helmets that do ruin it a little bit is the actual speaker at the back and the battery cover. There we go. And obviously, speaking of the battery cover, these do have a voice distorter built in. It is absolutely terrible, so I wouldn't use it. And the other thing about these helmets is there's no detail on the inside. So this is before Hasbro decided that they were going to make the interiors look a bit more in-universe. So this one is a bit plain on the inside, and is probably due an upgrade. But from the outside, it does look very nice. Let's try it on and see what it looks like on my head. And there we go. Fits really nicely. Next on my list is the Shocktrooper helmet from 2018, and this was a GameStop exclusive in the US. And this helmet is exactly the same as the artillery helmet. We can see it just has that different paint job on there. So we've got some really nice reds, really dark colours. It looks really nice. We've got that same issue with the speaker on the back. But it's a great looking helmet. No details on the inside, exactly the same. Here is the helmet. Next on the list is the Incinerator Stormtrooper helmet from 2019. And this is very similar to the Artillery Trooper that we just looked at, but this time in red rather than yellow. But they have that exact same design on them. And you can see this one's nice red. There's some nice wear and tear to there. And this time it's got a bit more wear. You can see some like sort of burn marks under the eyes, which is quite nice. And a bit more wear on the helmet. Again, same issue with the battery. And no details inside, and this is the helmet on my head. Next on the list is the Trapper Wolf helmet from 2022. Now this is one of 3 X-Wing helmets on the list, and all the X-Wing helmets are exactly the same. This is the Luke Skywalker one, and we can see they share exactly the same mold. They're exactly the same helmets, they've just repainted them. Just looking at the helmet, there is some really nice paintwork on this helmet. And especially like the wolves on the top, I think they look really, really nice. You can see there's some great details on the helmet itself. Now, just going over the features quickly, you can see that it does have a bendable microphone. It's not workable, it's just there for the aesthetics. And a nice strap for your chin that is adjustable as well. You can remove all the pads inside, but the visor cannot be moved, so it is stuck in this position. And there's a reason for that, because there are actually lights built in. So when you do the sound effects, like the Poe Dameron one, and you push the button, which is nicely built into the mold, here's the button, it does play different sound effects from a battle, so you hear like X-Wings flying past you, but you will get lights, so there's like green and red lights built into the actual display up there, so it does light up your vision. Probably not very practical, and I probably only used it about 2 or 3 times, but it's nice it is there. But as a helmet, I think it looks really, really nice. And let's try it on to see how well it does fit. I find with this one, there's a bit of give in it, so if I do pull my fingers in, I can squeeze it. Get my ears, there we go. Get my ears in. And Trapper Wolf standing by. The next helmet we're going to look at is the First Order Stormtrooper helmet from 2021. Now this is exactly the same as the Captain Cardinal helmet we looked at earlier, but this time it's in that iconic white, and it looks so nice. You can see the way the light shines off this plastic. It is a great helmet. It's really nice build quality. It does have that voice changer that isn't very good. It's built in, there's the button for it, but it's nicely disguised, so if you never use it, it's completely fine. But I do love this helmet. It feels so nice to hold, and it does have that strap inside with the detailing, so it's so easy to put on. There we go. Next on my list is the Boba Fett re-armoured helmet from 2021. And this is the first of 4 helmets that share this same mould. Now this is a great looking helmet. We can see it's got some lovely details on the actual helmet itself. Really nice paint job. It does look like Boba Fett has slapped that paint on, just like we saw in the Mandalorian. This is one of the helmets that has some great detail on the inside as well. So it's got an in-universe style detail inside, which is really nice. It has that rangefinder. You can push a button and it does go down, and the rangefinder does have lights in it as well. So lots of great features. The reason this is so low on my list is because I've already bought this helmet on 3 separate occasions, so I'm just kind of bored of it. Yeah, that sounds really bad, but I'm just bored of the actual design of the helmet and just slightly different paint jobs on it. So that's the only reason, and it will be coming out again as an Axe Wolves helmet. So I'm going to have 5 versions of this same toy, just with a slightly different paint job. And it's nothing bad about the toy. I definitely would recommend this helmet, but I probably wouldn't recommend buying all 5 because there's really not much difference in them. And this is the helmet on my head, so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Next on my list is the Clone Trooper Phase 2 helmet from 2023. Now this thing is amazing. It is a great build quality, feels so sturdy, great looking helmet. Again, we've got that detail inside, in-universe style detailing, which is absolutely wonderful. It is slightly oversized, but I can completely forgive it because it looks amazing. The helmet does have a voice changer built in, and the button is nicely disguised in the mold of the helmet, so it's just this button here. And when you put it on, this is what it sounds like, and you can see it doesn't really sound like a Clone Trooper at all. If you are interested in sounding more like a Clone Trooper while wearing this helmet, then check out my video where I go over some hints and tips on how to best sound like a Clone Trooper while wearing this helmet. Links above. Next up on the list is the original Stormtrooper helmet from 2016, and this one looks absolutely amazing. We've already gone over some of the bad things about the helmet, like the speaker and the battery cover, but just from an aesthetics point of view, having that clear Stormtrooper helmet is really iconic. This is what a Stormtrooper should look like to me, so I think that looks absolutely amazing. Great looking helmet, and here's what it looks like on my head. Next on the list, also released in 2016, is the Shadow Trooper helmet. Now this is that same Stormtrooper mold we've seen multiple times on this list. And you can see it has that battery cover, but because it's in black, it's a lot harder to see, which is always preferable. But the coolest thing about this helmet is the eyes. Look at those mirrored lenses. They look awesome. And so that is why this one is a little bit higher on the list, because I think it looks pretty cool, and this is what it looks like on my head. Number 9 on the list is a Wedge Antilles helmet from 2021, and this helmet uses the Luke Skywalker mold. You can see it's got a completely different paint job to match Wedge Antilles helmet, and it does look really, really nice. Again, the visor's not movable, which is a bit of a shame. You can move that microphone, and it's got a movable strap. Really nice looking helmet. Let's put it on and see what it looks like. Oh. There we go. Right here, Luke! Next on the list is the prototype Boba Fett helmet from 2020, and this is all intents and purposes a Boba Fett helmet all in white. The only thing we have different is there is no bump on the top. You can see we have a completely new piece on the top, and they've removed that dent, which is very nice. It is still in the inside, in the details, so Hasbro did one step, we still got the bump inside, but it is a great looking helmet, really nice. Something I never thought I'd see as part of the Black Series, but here it is. And this is what it looks like on my head. Next on the list is the Death Watch helmet from 2021, and this was a GameStop exclusive in the US, and this is the same prototype helmet, but this time it's been painted in blue, so we don't have the dent on top, but there's no new features. This is exactly the same helmet, same details inside. It's a great looking helmet though, and this is what it looks like on my head. Next on the list is the Katan helmet from 2022, and we have an original sculpt. This helmet has some great wear and tear on it. It looks really, really nice. And the only electronics on there are the lights, which are on the rangefinder. There's a little button here, which pushes the rangefinder down. And inside it has some lights. But I think this helmet looks wonderful. Maybe slightly oversized, because it does fit my head quite nicely. And it's probably a bit bigger than a lot of the other helmets. But I'm completely fine with that, because it does mean it fits my head really nicely as well. And you can see we have some great details inside as well. Some in-universe details, which is wonderful when they do that. And this is what the helmet looks like on my head. Very, very comfortable, this helmet. Definitely feels oversized, but I've got a great vision in this helmet as well. I can see so much through this one. This is probably one of the best helmets to actually cosplay in. Number 5 on my list is the Darth Vader helmet that was released in 2023, and this is the Obi-Wan Kenobi version. So we had a quick sneak peek at it earlier, but let's take a closer look now. We can see that this helmet has got all the details that we saw on that original Darth Vader helmet, but when we remove this top piece, because this is the same, we can see there's so much more detail going on here. We've got this whole neck, which looks absolutely amazing. We've got a really amazing paint job, actually. So rather than being black, we can see we've got some silver bits on there. It looks so amazing. And we do have these red lenses as well. Some people prefer the lenses not to be red. I really love Darth Vader with red eyes. I think it looks really, really nice. And it just does look next level. You can see some really amazing details on the inside as well. And let's put this on so you can see. What I tried to do is just undo 2 of the bits. This whole bit can come off. I tried to just undo 2. And then the whole bit comes off. Come on! Try that again. Okay, so I've got the 2 attached on one side. There we go. Impressive. Number 4 on the list is the Luke Skywalker helmet from 2019. Now, I'm a massive Luke Skywalker fan, and I'm not going to lie, I love this helmet. It's so great. We've already seen it on the list 2 times before, and this is the same mold as the Trapper Wolf and Wedge Antilles helmet. But this was the original, and I just think it's a great looking helmet. The wear and tear on the helmet itself look absolutely wonderful. I would have preferred it if we could have lifted that visor up, but I'm completely fine that we can't as well. And let's put it on, because I really do love this helmet. Oh. Red 5 standing by. Number 3 on the list is the Mandalorian helmet from 2021. You can see this helmet, again, is an original sculpt and it looks so nice. Got some great details on there. Really nice and shiny. You can see the way it reflects the light off it. It looks great. It does have a light feature, so when you lift up the helmet, there's some small lights inside. You can also clip this light on the side. Not something I use, but it's nice it's on there. And it does have that in-universe design inside, so you can see some great details in there. Wonderful helmet. Now this helmet is slightly smaller, so if you've got a bigger head, you're probably not going to be able to get this one on. But even just if you have it on display, I think it looks great. And this is what it looks like on my head. This is the way. Number 2 on my list is the Boba Fett helmet from 2019, and in the last 2 years I've made this video, this has been the number 1 helmet, and for good reason. It is an absolutely amazing helmet. You can see some of the wear and tear on this helmet is incredible. Now, on a lot of the other helmets that use this Boba Fett mold, they do have this wear and tear, but this is the only one that has the wear and tear with the paint on it as well. So the wear and tear matches the paint, and you can see just how incredible it does look. Really was amazed with this when it came out, and it's been pride of place in my collection for many a year. I definitely recommend picking up this helmet. It is so amazing. You can see, look at those details on it. It looks great. It does have the rangefinder that comes down as well with the lights in it. A great looking helmet. Wonderful. And this is what it looks like on my head. As you wish. And the number 1 Black Series helmet, the Shocktrooper Biker Scout helmet from 2023. Wow, what a helmet. You may have seen my review of this helmet recently, so I have to be honest, I am completely biased because this is my favourite trooper when I was a kid. I love the design of this helmet, so this was one of my dream lists when they announced that they were going to be making Black Series helmets, and to have it in hand is incredible. You can see how great this helmet looks. It looks so nice, so clean. and it is just incredible. Now, it does have that voice feature where it can distort your voice and it doesn't sound anything like a Stormtrooper. But I'm just going to forget about that. Take the batteries out, just never use it, because this is all about how great this helmet looks. You can see it's got some great designs on it. And let's get this helmet on just so you can see what it looks like on my head. Oh, has a strap that fits underneath your chin to hold it all in place. And then, there we go. And you can see how great this helmet looks. 2 thumbs up for me. I like it a lot. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favourite Black Series helmet, and what helmets would you like to see in the future? There's so many great helmets that have already been released. It's so hard to pick my favourite because so many great designs, and this is just based on my opinion on today. So I may well wake up tomorrow and change my mind, because I am quite fickle. What helmet would you love to see in the future? I'd love to see a Snowtrooper or a TIE Fighter pilot really soon. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, may the foam flinging force be with you.
Greetings, Exalted One. As a token of my goodwill, I present to you these 2 videos. Both are about Star Wars weapons and will serve you well. Until next time, may the foam flinging force be with you.